Friends, today let's talk about something that many people in their golden years often get curious about. It's been around for centuries, you'll find it in countless home remedies, it shows up in health books, and even today you can spot bottles of it on grocery store shelves. I'm talking about apple cider vinegar. You've probably heard people say it can help lower blood sugar, make it easier to lose weight, support the heart, and even extend life. But is that really true? Can a spoonful of apple cider vinegar actually make us healthier and stronger? And, most importantly, is it safe at an age when our bodies deserve more care, patience, and respect than ever before? Our generation understands the value of simple things. We grew up in times when good health was supported not with fancy supplements, but with everyday foods and natural remedies. And apple cider vinegar is one of those bold friends many still keep on the kitchen shelf. But here's the truth, even natural products can be both helpful and harmful. What matters is how, and why, we use them. Picture this: one person wakes up in the morning, drinks a glass of water with a spoonful of vinegar, and feels lighter, with a better appetite and a clearer head. Sounds great, doesn't it? Yet another person might do the same thing and end up with heartburn or stomach discomfort. Why the difference? Because as we age, each body responds in its own way. That's why listening to our bodies becomes more important than ever. One thing to remember: apple cider vinegar is not a magic cure. It won't take away every ache, and it won't fix all of life's health challenges. But in certain situations, it can be a gentle helper. And if you know how to use it wisely, this simple product can bring more good than harm. So why has apple cider vinegar become especially popular among older adults? The reason is simple: we all want natural, affordable, and familiar ways to take care of ourselves. We want our food and habits to support our strength and energy. And vinegar made from apples feels so ordinary, so safe, so easy to add to daily life. But let's look a little closer. Every spoonful of apple cider vinegar is, after all, an acid. It has real effects, on the stomach, on the teeth, on metabolism. It may gently lower blood sugar after a meal. It may help us feel fuller and reduce the urge to snack. It even has mild antibacterial properties. But at the same time, it can irritate the stomach lining, damage tooth enamel, and interfere with certain medications. And here's the big question: how do we find the balance? How do we get the benefits of apple cider vinegar without running into trouble? Because we all know that in later years, even the smallest details can make a big difference. That's why this conversation isn't about hype or miracle claims. It's about common sense, self-awareness, and the small steps that help us live longer, healthier, and with more joy. Because right now, at this stage of life, we hold something more valuable than any product on the shelf: experience. And with that wisdom, we can tell the difference between what truly helps and what doesn't. But before we dive into apple cider vinegar and its role in healthy aging, let me ask you something simple. Are you here because you care about living longer, stronger, and wiser? If that's you, write in the comments, "I'm here for longevity." That way I know this message is reaching the right people. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Senior Longevity Tips, your daily home for wisdom, nutrition insights, and simple lifestyle choices that help you age well with confidence. When we look at apple cider vinegar, it helps to start by understanding what it really is. At first glance, it's just a liquid made from apples that have been fermented. But behind that simple description lies something interesting. First, the sugars in the apples turn into alcohol, and then, thanks to special bacteria, that alcohol turns into vinegar. What we end up with is a product that holds both the sweetness of the fruit and the sharpness of acid. For generations, people have used it not only in the kitchen but also as a home remedy. Some remember their parents or grandparents using it to soothe a sore throat, to make pickles last through the winter, or even to shine windows. It's one of those everyday items that always seem to have a dozen uses. And maybe that's why, even today, it still sparks curiosity, especially for those of us who want to stay strong and healthy without turning to complicated solutions. So, what exactly makes apple cider vinegar special? It contains acetic acid, the main ingredient that gives it its sour taste and strong smell. But along with that, unfiltered vinegar may carry tiny bits of apple fiber, natural enzymes, and even trace minerals like potassium. Some people believe these extra pieces of nutrition are what give vinegar its charm. Now, when we think about it in terms of aging gracefully, certain potential benefits stand out. Many older adults notice that their digestion isn't as smooth as it once was. Meals that used to be easy can sometimes feel heavy. A small amount of apple cider vinegar in water may gently encourage the stomach to do its work, making food easier to digest. For some, it also helps bring back a healthy appetite. Another reason people are drawn to it is its possible effect on blood sugar. Some studies suggest that vinegar can help the body handle carbohydrates more gently, so the rise in sugar after a meal isn't as sharp. For those living with prediabetes or simply watching their energy levels, this can feel like a welcome discovery. And then there's weight and appetite. As we age, maintaining a healthy weight can be tricky. Too much food can leave us sluggish, but eating too little can leave us weak. Vinegar has been shown, in some cases, to create a feeling of fullness after meals, which may help curb unnecessary snacking. It's not about dieting or strict rules, it's about feeling comfortable and balanced with food. There are also those who like to use apple cider vinegar on the outside of the body. Diluted with water, it can be applied to the skin or even used as a foot soak. Its natural acidity may discourage certain bacteria and fungi, making it a handy helper for minor irritations. All of this sounds promising, doesn't it? But here's where we pause. Because for every story of someone feeling lighter and more energetic with apple cider vinegar, there's another story of someone who felt worse after using it. And that's why caution is so important. Let's talk about those risks honestly, because it's just as important to know the limits as it is to know the promises. Apple cider vinegar may look gentle in a bottle, but once it enters the body, its acidic nature can cause problems if we're not careful. The first area to think about is the stomach. Many older adults already live with sensitive digestion. Some have a history of heartburn, gastritis, or reflux. For them, adding vinegar, even diluted, can be like pouring salt into a wound. Instead of helping, it may irritate the stomach lining and cause discomfort. That's why it's never wise to drink vinegar straight or in large amounts. A single teaspoon in a tall glass of water is usually more than enough for those who want to try it. The second area is our teeth. We only get one set of permanent teeth, and protecting them becomes even more important with age. The acid in apple cider vinegar can slowly wear away enamel if it touches the teeth too often. Enamel doesn't grow back once it's gone. That's why people who drink vinegar in water are advised to use a straw, so the liquid bypasses the teeth as much as possible. It may sound like a small detail, but small details are what keep smiles strong and healthy over the years. Then there's the matter of our blood chemistry, something we often don't think about until a doctor points it out on a lab test. Apple cider vinegar can affect potassium levels in the body. Potassium is crucial for healthy muscles and for the rhythm of the heart. If levels drop too low, it can cause weakness, cramps, or even irregular heartbeat. And because many older adults take medications, such as diuretics or heart medicines, vinegar can sometimes add stress to an already delicate balance. Medication interactions are another hidden risk. Imagine taking pills each morning for blood pressure or diabetes, and then adding apple cider vinegar on top of that. On its own, the vinegar might lower blood sugar or blood pressure only slightly. But combined with medicine, the effect may become too strong, leading to dizziness, faintness, or sudden drops in energy. That's why it's never a bad idea to check with a doctor or pharmacist before making vinegar part of a daily routine. And one more thing to remember, apple cider vinegar is not meant for everyone. People with ulcers, chronic acid reflux, fragile bones, or certain kidney conditions may be better off avoiding it entirely. Sometimes, the wisest choice is to admire the product on the store shelf and choose another path for health. But don't let these cautions scare you. The message here isn't that apple cider vinegar is dangerous, it's that it must be used with respect. Just like salt, sugar, or even sunshine, a little can help, but too much can harm. The goal is to find that gentle middle ground, where vinegar serves as a helper, not a burden. Now that we've seen both the bright and the shadowed sides of apple cider vinegar, let's talk about how to use it wisely. Because the truth is, balance is everything. For some, vinegar can be a supportive tool, but only when approached with care and moderation. The first rule is simple: never drink it straight. Undiluted vinegar is far too harsh for the throat, stomach, and teeth. If you'd like to try it, mix just 1 teaspoon in a full glass of water. For most people, that's enough to feel its gentle effect without overwhelming the body. Some prefer to add a little honey or lemon for taste, which can make it feel more like a refreshing tonic than a sharp medicine. Another important guideline is timing. Many people make the mistake of taking vinegar on an empty stomach. For sensitive digestion, this can be uncomfortable, even painful. It's usually safer to sip it with or after a meal, when food is already in the stomach, to soften its impact. That way, it works together with your meal instead of irritating your system. Frequency also matters. There's no need to drink apple cider vinegar every single day. 2 or 3 times a week is often more than enough. Think of it not as a daily chore, but as an occasional helper. Just as you might enjoy herbal tea in the evening or a walk in the sunshine on a nice day, vinegar can be one of those little rituals, pleasant, but not overdone. Protecting your teeth is another smart step. As mentioned earlier, sipping through a straw keeps the acid away from enamel. And rinsing the mouth with plain water afterward adds another layer of protection. It may feel like a small habit, but over time it can save a lot of dental trouble. Listening to your body is the most important part. If you feel lighter, more comfortable, or more energetic after a small amount of vinegar, that's a good sign. But if you notice heartburn, stomach upset, or unusual fatigue, it's your body's way of saying, "This isn't for me." And that's perfectly fine. Health is not about forcing one path, it's about finding what truly works for you. Sometimes, people feel pressure to copy what others are doing. A friend says, "I drink vinegar every morning, and it's the secret to my health." It can be tempting to follow their example, hoping for the same results. But remember, your body has its own story. What helps one person may harm another. Wisdom means honoring your own journey, not someone else's. For anyone already taking medication, especially for blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions, a quick conversation with a doctor is a wise choice before adding vinegar regularly. It's not about seeking permission, it's about making sure your health plan works as a whole, without hidden conflicts. Doctors appreciate when patients are proactive and thoughtful. So, safe use of apple cider vinegar comes down to this: keep it diluted, keep it light, and keep it personal. In that way, it remains a gentle companion on the path to wellness, instead of a risk. Even with all this knowledge, there are moments when the wisest choice is to set apple cider vinegar aside. After all, no single product is meant for everyone. Knowing when to say no is just as valuable as knowing when to say yes. If you live with conditions such as gastritis, ulcers, or frequent acid reflux, vinegar is best avoided. In these cases, the acid is more likely to irritate than to help. Listening to your body means respecting these signals and not pushing against them. Those with kidney problems should also be careful. The kidneys work hard to balance minerals and acids in the body, and extra vinegar can create additional strain. In the same way, people with very fragile bones may prefer to avoid it, since acid in excess could interfere with calcium balance over time. It's also worth noting that allergies, though rare, can happen. If you've ever reacted to fermented foods or drinks, it's wise to test cautiously, or better yet, skip it altogether. Health is never about taking risks to follow a trend. And remember, there's no shame in deciding that apple cider vinegar isn't right for you. Health is a personal journey, not a competition. Choosing safety and comfort is always the stronger path. But here's the good news: for every person who can't use vinegar, there are plenty of alternatives that can bring similar benefits. Nature gives us many gentle ways to support digestion, balance energy, and encourage well-being. For example, A simple squeeze of fresh lemon in warm water can wake up the stomach and refresh the body without the intensity of vinegar. Fermented foods are another option. Sauerkraut, yogurt, or pickled vegetables bring helpful bacteria and natural acids that can improve digestion and strengthen the gut. They often feel lighter and easier on the stomach than vinegar, yet still give that sense of nourishment and balance. And let's not forget herbal teas. Peppermint, ginger, and chamomile are time-tested allies for calming the stomach and bringing gentle energy. They may not have the same reputation for lowering blood sugar or appetite, but they support the body in their own quiet way, without the risks vinegar can sometimes bring. The key idea is this: no single food or drink carries the power to define your health. Apple cider vinegar may be helpful for some, but it is never the only path. Your well-being is built on many small choices each day: fresh foods, enough water, steady movement, good rest, and kind thoughts. Vinegar, at best, is one piece of that larger picture. Think about it like painting. One color may add brightness to the canvas, but the beauty comes from how all the colors blend together. In the same way, health is created from many habits working side by side. If vinegar fits, wonderful. If not, the painting of your life will still shine with other colors. Sometimes the real wisdom in life comes not from starting something new, but from knowing when it's time to stop. Apple cider vinegar is no different. Even if you've tried it and felt some benefit, there may come a moment when your body quietly tells you it's no longer a good match. So how do you know when to step back? The signs are often gentle but clear. If after drinking vinegar, even in small amounts, you begin to feel a burning in your chest, discomfort in your stomach, or a sour taste that lingers too long, those are signals that your digestion isn't happy. That's your body whispering, enough. This isn't working for me. Another sign is tooth sensitivity. If your teeth begin to feel weaker, more sensitive to hot or cold, or if you notice changes in your dental health, it may be time to pause. Enamel doesn't repair itself, and prevention is always kinder than repair. Pay attention also to your energy levels. If instead of feeling balanced and refreshed, you find yourself unusually tired, lightheaded, or shaky, vinegar may be interfering with your blood sugar or blood pressure, especially if you're taking medication. These are not feelings to push through, they are red flags that your body deserves gentler care. And sometimes, it's not about obvious discomfort at all. It may simply be that your doctor notices changes in your blood work, such as low potassium levels, or warns you about possible interactions with the medicine you're taking. In these moments, trust the advice. Doctors don't take away tools from your toolbox lightly, they do it to keep you safe. It's important to remember, stopping apple cider vinegar doesn't mean giving up on health. It means you're wise enough to choose what truly serves you. Health after 60 isn't about clinging to one solution, it's about flexibility, about being open to adjusting as life changes. If apple cider vinegar doesn't feel right for you, that doesn't mean the door to better digestion, balanced energy, and gentle health support is closed. Nature has always offered many paths, and there are plenty of alternatives that can serve the same purpose without the risks. One of the simplest options is lemon water. A squeeze of fresh lemon in a glass of warm water can wake up your digestion in the morning, refresh your body, and support hydration. It brings a bright taste, a gentle acidity, and a boost of vitamin C, all without the harsher effects vinegar can sometimes bring. Many people find this ritual soothing, and it sets a peaceful tone for the day. Another alternative is fermented foods. These are treasures for gut health. Sauerkraut, kimchi, pickled cucumbers, yogurt, and kefir all contain natural probiotics and mild acids that can support digestion. They not only help break down food but also feed the good bacteria in your intestines. For older adults, keeping the gut balanced is closely tied to energy, mood, and even immune strength. A spoonful of sauerkraut with lunch or a cup of yogurt with breakfast may do more for you than vinegar ever could. Don't overlook herbal teas. Ginger tea, for example, has a natural warming quality that stimulates digestion without irritation. Peppermint tea soothes the stomach and helps with bloating. Chamomile calms both the body and mind, making it a perfect evening companion. While they don't lower blood sugar directly, these teas gently guide the body toward balance, and they carry none of the risks of acid erosion or stomach upset. Fresh fruits and vegetables are another beautiful alternative. Apples, berries, leafy greens, and root vegetables naturally contain fiber, vitamins, and plant acids that support overall health. Instead of looking for one concentrated product, spreading these foods across your daily meals can give steady nourishment. The body often prefers this softer, gradual support over sharp bursts of acidity. For those who are especially concerned about blood sugar, cinnamon can be a comforting ally. Studies suggest it may help improve the way the body responds to insulin. A sprinkle in oatmeal, tea, or baked apples can bring warmth and sweetness without added sugar. And finally, don't underestimate the power of movement. A short walk after a meal is one of the most natural ways to support digestion and keep blood sugar steady. Unlike vinegar, walking carries no risk of stomach irritation or tooth enamel damage. It's free, it clears the mind, and it strengthens the body all at once. The truth is, health doesn't depend on one bottle in the pantry. It grows from the rhythm of everyday life, what we eat, how we move, how we rest, and how kindly we treat ourselves. Apple cider vinegar may be a tool for some, but alternatives are always there, waiting quietly, ready to bring balance in a gentler way. Health after 60 is less about strict rules and more about finding what feels good, what supports your body, and what nourishes your spirit. Apple cider vinegar can be part of that journey for some, but the real foundation comes from habits and choices that are kind, gentle, and sustainable. Start with hydration. Water is often underestimated, yet it is one of the most powerful tools we have. It supports digestion, keeps joints supple, and helps the body process nutrients effectively. Drinking water with a slice of lemon in the morning, for example, is a gentle ritual that awakens the body without risk or irritation. Balanced meals are another cornerstone. Imagine plates filled with colorful vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and small portions of fermented foods. Each meal becomes a celebration, not a chore. Fiber and probiotics help digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and even support mental clarity. By focusing on variety and color, you naturally provide the body with what it needs to thrive. Movement is not just exercise, it's a daily joy. A short walk after meals, gentle stretching, or light yoga supports digestion, circulation, and flexibility. The body responds beautifully to movement that is consistent yet comfortable, reinforcing the benefits of healthy foods without forcing stress. Rest and mindfulness play equally important roles. After years of experience, we understand that fatigue, stress, and sleepless nights affect the entire system. Quiet moments, deep breathing, and mindful practices help digestion, calm the nervous system, and even support healthy blood sugar levels. These small pauses are powerful, far more than any single tonic could achieve. When it comes to alternatives to apple cider vinegar, all of these practices work together. Lemon water, fermented foods, herbal teas, cinnamon, and fresh produce create a gentle, nurturing pattern. Each element contributes a little to overall balance. Think of them as threads weaving together a tapestry of well-being. No single thread is magic, but together, they form a strong, beautiful, and resilient fabric. One of the most important lessons from life experience is this: listen to your body. It communicates constantly. Sometimes it says, "I feel energized, this works for me." Other times it warns, "This is too much, please slow down." Respecting these signals is the real secret to thriving in your later years. Health is a journey, not a race. Gentle choices, patience, and small, consistent steps lead to lasting benefits. Apple cider vinegar may be one small tool along the way, but it is never the only path. The joy of living fully, moving freely, and nourishing yourself wisely is found in the everyday patterns we create, patterns that honor the wisdom of age and the beauty of each new day. As we move through the later years of life, it becomes clear that health is not about chasing miracles. Apple cider vinegar is a perfect example of this truth. It is not a magic potion, nor will it instantly solve every discomfort or imbalance. What it can be, however, is a gentle helper, a small tool in a larger toolkit for well-being. Used in moderation, apple cider vinegar may bring benefits. A teaspoon in a glass of water, 2 or 3 times a week, can support digestion, help you feel lighter after meals, or provide a slight boost to balance blood sugar. For some, it may even become a comforting ritual, a small moment of care for the body. But as with all things, caution is essential. Too much, or using it at the wrong time or in the wrong way, can lead to irritation, discomfort, or complications with medications. The heart of the matter is simple: listen to your body. Pay attention to what feels good and what doesn't. Notice how your digestion responds, how your energy flows, and whether your teeth or stomach signal any stress. Your body communicates constantly, and the more attentively you listen, the wiser your choices will be. Equally important is consulting a trusted healthcare professional. A doctor or pharmacist can guide you safely, especially if you take medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions. Combining professional guidance with personal awareness ensures that small tools like apple cider vinegar truly serve you, instead of causing unintended problems. And here is a timeless piece of wisdom that fits perfectly with the use of vinegar, or anything else in life: everything is good in moderation. Just a little, used wisely, can be beneficial. Too much, or used carelessly, can bring harm. This simple principle protects health, honors experience, and allows you to enjoy life fully without unnecessary risk. So, remember, apple cider vinegar is not a miracle cure. It is an auxiliary tool, gentle and potentially helpful when used thoughtfully. Small amounts may provide benefits, but caution, listening to your body, and consulting a doctor are key. By following these simple rules, you can incorporate it, or its alternatives, into a balanced, nurturing lifestyle that supports strength, vitality, and joy in every day. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried apple cider vinegar as part of your routine? Did you notice a difference in your digestion, energy, or even your joints? Or maybe you're still on the fence about it. Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs. And while you're here, give this video a quick thumbs up. It helps this message reach other seniors who are looking for trustworthy health guidance. Before we wrap up, let me just say thank you. Thank you for being curious, for seeking wisdom, and for choosing knowledge over confusion. Every step you take toward healthier aging is a gift to yourself and your loved ones. If this video helped you even a little, please subscribe to Senior Longevity Tips. Here, we talk about everything from nutrition and natural remedies to small lifestyle choices that make a big difference as we grow wiser in years. Remember, healthy aging isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.